Okay, so I promised I'd talk about the wedding. So, as some of you may or may not know, I flew to Seattle to go to my friend's wedding. Those of you who know about this know that it was John and Danielle, aka Artistic Pizza or Jack the Reaper, depending on how you know him, and Zelly. Now, the reason this was such a big deal was because I didn't think I'd be able to go originally. That was made possible due to Morgan, but I have never met John and Danielle before. Not only was I going to their wedding, but I was getting to meet them for the first time, which was very exciting, and it was going to be something of a fiasco, just kind of from the get-go. We did the pricing of the tickets, the plane tickets, and what ended up happening is we realized that if we flew any other day of the week, it was going to be like between $120 to $250 more per person to fly in any other day of the week. And then we would also have extra hotel fees. Excuse me. So what ended up happening is we flew in the day of the wedding. Now, what this means is that we woke up at 4 o'clock in the morning, had to be at the airport by 5:30, and all kinds of other shenanigans. So it was just rush, 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 rush. Be up super early, get to the airport super early, and this is me in the mornings. Fuck off. It's actually a fairly good impression. And so we flew from Omaha to Denver, which was awesome. While we were disembarking in Denver, they brought my wheelchair. I got in my wheelchair, and it felt weird. I felt like I was sinking in, and I had to go to the bathroom really bad. So I was like, okay, well, let's go to the bathroom. So I go to the bathroom, and blah, 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 and then I get back in my chair, and I look, and I'm, like, sinking in, and I'm like, what the hell is going on here? And I realize that the rod that holds my, I don't know what the technical term is, but it's the piece that holds my seat cushion on top of it. Because my cushion is a separate entity. You can pull that off and adjust it and blah, 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 blah. So the thing that goes under the seat cushion that holds it there was coming out. And I was falling through the chair. So I'm like, okay, quick. We need to go to United? Yeah, I think it was United. We need to go to the customer service. It doesn't really matter what airline it was. We need to go to the customer service, and we need to figure out if they can find this piece of my chair. So there's an end cap that's supposed to keep that rod in and hit it broken off. So we go to United and we're like, this piece of my wheelchair is missing, we really, really need it, and our connecting flight is in like 30 minutes. So they call down and they ask, do you see, it's a black 1/8 of an inch-ish, like 12 to 18 inch long, I think it's like 16 inches actually, to be specific, because I think that's my seat length, whatever, black rod, hard plastic rod. And after a couple minutes, of waiting and listening and blah, 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 she looks at us and she's like, they found it. I'm like, oh my God, seriously? They found that out of like everything. They found that. And I'm just like, that is awesome. So I go and sit in, I guess the waiting area, whatever. I sit by the gate, and Morgan goes to go get pizza because I'm starving, and they had a Pizza Hut Express. So it's like, go get food. I'm gonna wait here, and they came and brought me the rod, which I put back into the chair, which was not easy, by the way, and got all that situated and everything, and then we taped the end of the thing so that it wouldn't fall out again. And she put a lot of tape on it. I was like, we only need like one piece, and she's like, no, we're gonna make sure it stays on there. She's like, just tape, and I'm like, alright, go nuts. So we fixed my chair, thankfully. We're going to have to order that end cap part, though, and replace it. And then, the thing I hate about flying, I love to fly. I love it. I love the view. I wish I could fall out of a plane. Like, I love being up high. The thing I hate about flying, the plane doesn't go anywhere till everyone's boarded. Okay? It's not leaving till we're all seated and have our stuff put away and blah, 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 blah. It ain't going nowhere. And anyone who's disabled boards first for a lot of reasons. First of all, that way we don't have to fight with everyone else to get to our seats. And also, so nobody has to get over us and, like, we're not in the way. So it's a dual purpose thing. It's for you, normal people, and for us. So it's a win-win. But people don't seem to understand this. In fact, with an hour to go before the next flight, there's this guy standing over there at the gate, like right at the end of the little railing, where it's like you go to line up. Everyone else is sitting, right? We're all sitting in chairs, and he's standing over there. I'm gonna be first. I'm gonna be the first one on the plane, because that matters so much. First one on the plane, gonna stand here for an hour. I hate those people. It's freaking ridiculous. Okay, you know what? Congratulations. You get to be the first one on the plane after me and everyone else like me. And then guess what? You get to sit on that little cramped tiny plane and wait for everyone else to board. You know what I want to be? I want to be the last person on. That would be awesome. Oh my god, it's like, man, I'm sitting out here in this spacious area and, oh, is everyone boarded? Okay, I'll go join them. Oh, everyone already put their stuff away and I don't have to climb over anyone. I don't have to wait. That is awesome. Seriously. Don't be that guy. Don't be that person. You're not going to go anywhere any faster just because you're first in line. I'm the first one in line. I'm going to stand here with my luggage. My favorite, actually, is when I flew out to see Mandy in LA. The business guys are the worst. I'm telling you right now, the corporate guys with their suits and their suitcases, they are the biggest jackasses when it comes to flying, okay? We're talking about the guys who are flying economy or first class and think that they're, oh, so fucking special. I don't care what ticket you bought. I'm getting on that plane first either way, so you might as well just get over it. First on, last off. That is the way it works. I'm used to it. It's fine, okay? Sometimes makes getting my connecting flight a little interesting, but you know what? It's okay. I remember flying to LA. My stopover, or my layover was in Salt Lake City, Utah. And the associate, or whatever they're called, came over to talk to me and is like, you know, oh, don't worry, we'll get you boarded. Do you need an aisle chair? You know, and, sorry. And I was like, no, I don't need an aisle chair. If I have my cane and I'm not rushed, I can, you know, I'm good. And she goes, well, we'll get you on as soon as we can, so that you're out of the way. And I'm like, okay, good. That way, you know, nobody has to step over me. And so I'm sitting there, and she's like, why don't you just wait right here? And she had me sit kind of like right behind the little fence post velvet rope thingy. You know what I'm talking about, right? Anyway, so she had me sit right there. Not quite in it, but like behind it. Not even 20 minutes later, there are 6 business guys standing in front of me. Where do you think you're going? And they're like purposely blocking me from view as if they're going to suddenly forget that I exist or that somehow I'm going to get forgotten. Yeah, no, I don't think so. And when they called my name to go board, they had there was like this whole halt. They're like, whoa, you know, we're first. We've got these special tickets and we get to board first because that's so important. And I'm like, oh my god, please get over yourselves. One of the guys actually was mad. He's like, well, I'm a premier member and I get to, and they're like, no, cripples first. And that's just the way it is. There aren't exceptions. Unless, of course, you're Alaska Airlines, but we won't go there yet. And these guys are literally trying to block me. So you know what I did? Say hello to my foot pedals into your ankles. I did. I rammed the guy because he's being a douche. It's like, get the fuck out of my way. They've called my name. I've asked you politely 3 times to move. I was like, excuse me, trying to get through here. And then he was like, go away. And I'm like, fine. Morgan keeps joking that I need a cow catcher on my wheelchair, and I'm starting to agree. So anyway, on the flight to Seattle, I had to remember where I was going. Yeah, it just amazes me that people do this kind of shit when they're traveling. It's like, we all have to be on the plane. You might as well just have some fucking patience. You know, and people are like, why does she get to go first? I'm like, newsflash, I'm last off, okay? It's not like I'm first on, first off, special privilege, like I get to all the special treatment. No, I have to wait for all the rest of you fuckwits to find your goddamn luggage and get off the goddamn plane, because apparently that's so difficult. You know, it never ceases to amaze me that getting off a plane is so hard. You get up, you grab your stuff, you walk. Apparently that's beyond some people. They don't grasp that concept. So then we get to Seattle. From Denver, we fly magically across the sky and arrive in Seattle. And we get in, and I have been texting John. I was like, hey, we're leaving for the airport. And we landed in Denver. Hey, we're in Denver. And then we took off. Hey, we're leaving from Denver. And I'm texting him, of course, when I'm allowed to. And then we land in Seattle, and I'm like, hey, we're in Seattle. I haven't gotten any text messages from you. I hope you're coming to pick us up. And he does reply. He's like, you know, I'm on my way. And he's like, I'm only like 10 minutes out or something like that, which is fine because we have to still get across the stupid airport. So we didn't have to wait all that long before he picked us up. And then we had to make the like 1 hour drive. I don't know if it was literally an hour, but it kind of felt like one. It was awesome though because we got to chit chat. But we drove to whatever that city was that the actual wedding was in. So we flew into Seattle, but there was like a outskirts of Seattle kind of thing where we were going. And then we tried to find food. That was a whole fiasco because it's me. And then we had 45 minutes to take a nap. And then I had to wake up and shower and get on my dress. And well, actually, I had to iron Morgan's shirt. Partially, he did most of it. And then I had to iron my dress. And then I had to get dressed. And then we had to go to the wedding. And we were like 10 minutes late. In fact, on the way there, John... so we didn't rent a car. John gave us his dad's car to use while we were there, which was really nice of both of them. Very trusting. And... because they've never met us. I mean, I've known John for years, but still, like, for like, his parents, that was probably like, you don't know this girl? She's from the internet? Not sure I want them driving my car. Like, that was a lot of trust. But we get to the wedding, and, like, on the way there, John's, like, almost here, and I'm like, the gas tank's empty. Like, it's on E flashing and blinking at Morgan, and I'm like, I think we have to get gas. And we wound up not having to get gas, so we got there faster. But we were still, like, 6 or 8 minutes late, which was fine, because he was like, well, we're going to start anyway, and I'm like, okay, I'm just going to sneak in the back. They hadn't started when we got there, so it worked out fine. We got there, and I don't know what the holdup was, I don't care, but we got in, got to sit down, and I got to see Danielle before the wedding. It's so awesome, she looked so pretty, and yeah, the wedding ceremony itself was, decent length. I've been to shorter, I've been to much longer. I'm not going to complain. Have you ever been to a Catholic wedding? Oh my god, it's like torture. Like, I love my friends and I respect their religious choices, but if you invite me to a Catholic wedding, I feel like I need to bring a book. Because it's like, you're talking about a whole bunch of stuff that I don't comprehend or care about. I'm really glad you guys are getting married, but I don't need to be read the book of Genesis or whatever the fuck it's called. I don't care. It doesn't matter to me. And I will share in your joy for, the part of the ceremony where you're actually doing something and there isn't just someone preaching at me. No, but seriously, it wasn't that bad. It was not that long. And the thing that shocked me was apparently they are so against dancing that no one danced. Like, not really. I mean, there was, like, teeny tiny amount of dancing during the, like, exiting the ceremony portion, like, where, like, the groomsmen... Yeah, that's the right word, groomsmen. And the bridesmaids are jigging down the aisle. It was pretty cool. And it was really funny because I know John's friends by their internet handles. And one of the guys was like, hey, you're Kitten, right? I'm like, yeah. And he's like, I'm Salts. And I'm like, so I was like, I said hi, we talked for a little bit, and then he went away, and I was sitting there going, I still don't know his real name. Like, I met him in person now, and I still don't know what his real name is. So I asked somebody else, and they told me, which was nice of them. But it's just kind of funny how, like, you form these bonds and these friendships and these relationships over the internet, and then when they're real, like, the part of your brain is still like, yeah, that's Salts and I'm Kitten, even though I'm not. And, like, his parents knew who I was, which actually kind of surprised me. I don't know, personally how most people handle that kind of thing, like, internet people versus, like, real people, like, well, I shouldn't say real, because, I mean, I'm real, but you know what I mean, like, local people. I remember the first time I ran across country to go meet one of my internet friends. My mom had a shit fit. I was 19, so she couldn't do anything about it, but she was just like, you need to text me, like, every 20 minutes to make sure you're still alive and he's not an ex-murderer. I remember those times, and I completely understand my mother's fear and paranoia. But at the same time, like, for me, this is my world, like, these are my people. And I consider these people my friends, like, and no less of a friend than somebody I know here in town. So for me, there isn't really much of a distinction. But I can understand how for, like, that older generation, it's just, like, a concept that's hard to grasp. But they were so nice to me, and everybody knew who I was. It was so weird. And, yeah, no, it was great. It also cracked me up because there were these Girl Scouts that were, I think they were Girl Scouts anyway, they had the vest with the things, helping out with the reception. I'm assuming they are a part of the church. I have no idea. I don't understand church things. Whatever. I'm an atheist. I don't care. It's all Greek to me. But the cake toppers for John and Danielle's wedding cake was 2 portal turrets. One with little, like, I think it was like the leopard. No, it wasn't leopard. It was just like the brown and golden colored, like, hexagonal, I think. And then a regular portal turret. And they were freaking out about it because they're like, oh my god, we love portal! And I'm, like, wearing my mushroom earrings. And I had considered wearing my portal earrings, not to the wedding, but, like, just in general. But John really likes these ones, and I told him I would wear them, and I remembered that, ironically. But anyway, so I was like, oh yeah, I totally love Portal. And so I actually wound up befriending the little Girl Scouts, and completely blew my mind, because one of them kind of reminds me of me when I was young, where, like, she looks much, like, but way worse. I think I got confused for, like, 12 when I was 16. She's apparently 15, and I was pretty convinced she was, like, 8 years old, so... Tiny but adorable. And yeah, they were totally just freaking out about the whole gamer thing. They're like, it's a gamer wedding! And I'm like, it really is. I mean, there was all the people I know who played games, you know, getting introduced by their handles. Hi, Creeper! Hi. Morgan. What?
You see nothing?
You, like, ghosted past. It was kind of weird. Anyway. Yeah, and so it's just, like, it's interesting to me because there are a lot of stigmas surrounding, like, gamer culture, you know, and how, like, we're all a bunch of weirdos, and we're antisocial, and I'm like, you know, we're not antisocial, we're socially awkward. That's the reason there's things called gaming communities, and it's because it's a bunch of us who can't interact on normal means, who find a platform where we can interact, and where we can understand one another. And it's called the wonderful world of the internet. And the internet is amazing. And I just love that this is a thing that exists, that brings us together, and has this huge impact on our lives. I mean, I have, you know, gone out and met Mandy, who found me through my EDS videos. I have gone out and met probably a dozen people. I'm not going to count right now. That'll take too long, and I don't want to edit this. But yeah, I just, like, I've always done it in a smart way, I guess. As smart as you can, I guess. I've never been in a situation where I've traveled somewhere and then felt, like, threatened, or, like, you know what I mean? Like, I've always been pretty good about that. There's been a couple interesting encounters, but they were on my turf. So it was like I could throw them out, you know, if you get weird. But I love that there's this broad world where I can go out and, you know, meet these people who have so much in common with me and spread the love. It's awesome. I mean, because John and Danielle, oh my gosh, I love them to death. If you guys, like, for those of you watching who know them, you know how freaking awesome they are. Seriously. And to finally get to meet John and Danielle was huge for me. Because, I mean, I know what they look like, and I've been friends with them for so long. It's just, like, I know John's mannerisms. I know his vocal inflections. Like, you know, he's kind of like the brother I wished I had, you know? And I really just, I was actually so in the moment, you know, so happy, and like I'm surrounded by awesome people who I'm really glad to meet. I actually forgot to take pictures. Yep. I wanted to get a picture with me and John and Danielle. And whew, totally spaced it. So I told them they have to visit me. And if that's the case, you guys know I make a video. Because that's what I do. And I also really wanted to cook for them, but since I couldn't fly in sooner, I couldn't do that. So unfortunately, they'll have to come visit me if they want food. Because that's what happens. If you visit Izzy, you get fed. I am of Sicilian descent. My mother is German and Scot-Irish, and there's not a lot in there that isn't like, oh, you haven't eaten enough! Eat more food! It's kind of true, actually. I swear my entire family is constantly trying to feed people. I was at my cousin's earlier, and she sent me home with hard-boiled eggs. Like, that's just the way we are. But anyway, so I had a great time at the wedding, despite it being so random, you know, like having to hitch rides, borrow somebody's car, like just, it worked out, and it was great. I was really happy to not be on a plane anymore, though, that part's true. I love flying, I hate being cramped. For me, if I could just pick my feet up, I'd be fine. Anyway, had a great time. That was the wedding. I'll talk about other stuff later. Morgan's getting ready for bed, though, and I'm probably in trouble. You all have to tell Morgan not to get mad at me, okay? Night, guys.